Okay, I've gathered all of you here today to talk about the importance of spaying and neutering our companion animals. This nation's shelters are so overrun with homeless animals that, through no fault of their own, don't have a home. Close to 7.6 million animals are surrendered to nation shelters every year. More than half of those animals will never make it out of the shelter alive. Pet overpopulation is becoming an epidemic in this nation. We've become a throwaway society. Oh, it's not cute and little anymore. Send it to the shelter. We'll go get a puppy. Oh, we had a baby. Let's get rid of our puppy. It ends up at the shelter. That puppy lives its life in a shelter and then dies there because nobody comes to pick him up. Now that we know the alarming number of animals that are in the shelters, let's take a look at where they come from. One of the main sources of animals in shelters are backyard breeders. These are people that breed animals just to make money off of them. They're not breeding to further the breed. They're not breeding to make the dog a better quality dog. They're just worried about the money. That's their whole concern. Others end up in the shelter surrendered for other reasons. Financial, the people are moving, can't take it to the apartment. Most of them come from breeding situations, puppy mills, backyard breeders. One female cat or dog can have over 100 babies in her lifetime. Males, exponentially more chances to father. Now that we know where they have come from, let's talk about what we can do to help. Spaying and neutering our companion animals at a young age not only has great health benefits for them, but also keeps the amount of animals in shelters to a minimum. For every, oops, my cat got pregnant, 6 or 7 of those 9 kittens will end up in the shelter. And once they pass the cute kitten stage, they're not coming out. They will be euthanized. Spaying and neutering benefits our animals because it takes out the chance or lessens the chance of mammary cancer in females and testicular cancer in males. It elongates their life because they're not dealing with the fluxes and hormones from going in heat and out of heat. When you have an intact male, he wants to roam. He wants to see what's down the street, what he can get a hold of, and that's his whole focus in life. But once you take those hormones away from him, he can calm down and be a good, well-behaved dog. Females are the same way. No, they're not roaming trying to find another girl, but they're out there trying to find that guy that's roaming. It is a depressing number of animals that are euthanized every day. For example, here at our local SPCA, before they became a no-kill shelter, they would put down close to 100 animals a day. This includes cats, dogs, snakes, lizards, even fish. In a perfect world, there would be no pet overpopulation problem. But we don't live in a perfect world. If you were to walk into our local shelter now, you're going to see cages upon cages upon cages, slam full of dogs, cats, bunnies, ferrets, all desperately looking for a home, all desperately wanting to just love someone, to know what it's like to have the kind pet on the head or the full bowl of food every night. They all look at you with these sad eyes, wagging tails, desperately hoping, you're going to take me home. You're the one. I pick you. But their day never comes. And this is completely preventable simply by spaying and neutering our companion animals. Now let's walk into this same shelter 6 months after a spay and neuter ordinance has been put into effect. That once you adopt or buy an animal, you have 2 weeks to get it fixed. If you want to be a breeder, there's certain criteria and stipulations that you must work by in order to breed that kind of dog or that kind of cat. Those restrictions on breeders would help keep the numbers down. It would also put puppy mills out of business completely, which means we won't have 600-700 dogs living in a 3-acre barn. They spend their whole life doing nothing but making babies. If more owners, okay, wait, we gotta step back. We're walking back into our same shelter 6 months after we have put this ordinance into effect. And now there's 2 dogs and maybe a cat in the shelter. The ones that are there aren't even caged up in their cages. They're being out and handled by the shelter volunteers because there's actually enough people that each dog can get the 2-hour walk a day, can get to somebody just sit down and let it pile up in their lap time. They can't get that right now. If more owners would take the responsible steps and have their companion animals spayed and neutered, this wouldn't be a problem here in America. We wouldn't have as many stray dogs. We wouldn't have as many stray cats. There are plenty of steps we can take. Some cost money. Take your cat to the vet and get it spayed. You're looking at $150, $300. Many local cities have free spay and neuter. If not free, it's low cost. So you can spend $20 and go get your cat fixed and not have to worry about kittens anymore. You can spend $20 and get your dog done, and he's not running the neighborhood trying to get into fights or get to the female down the street. There are many programs available here, even through Hampton. Hampton itself has 2 different spay and neuter clinics. One of them is totally free. They only do it once a month. The other one costs you $25. They spay them and give you a rabies shot. There are ways to help this pet population, but it's going to take the entire country stepping up and doing something about it. I want to thank everyone for joining me tonight. Y'all have been great.